Okay, so now it's time for time reconciliation. The first thing you're going to do is add up estimated time from your download. So add up, you put times next to each thing, add up the total time you've estimated for all the work, events, and tasks. And then you're going to write that total down. And then you're going to do the same thing for personal life events and tasks. And you're going to write that number down. Then you're going to turn to your calendar and you're going to count the hours of available space on the calendar. So count the calendar hours available for work, events, and tasks. And then count the calendar hours available for personal events and tasks. Write those numbers down. And now it's just about doing the math. Determine if it all fits for work. You have only this many available. You have this many hours of work to do. Is it going to work? And do the same thing for personal. And then once you have that, you've done the reconciliation. Now it's time to make decisions. So I'm saying but when everything you're supposed to do won't fit into your available time, you need to make some tough decisions and consider these three options in order of priority when you're making your decisions. We've already talked about being ruthless about getting things off your plate. Well, now it may be time to be even more ruthless. You thought you were ruthless then, it's time to be really ruthless now. So be ruthless about delegating and deleting tasks. The second thing that you can do and that you should do in this order is to reset expectations with others to buy yourself more time. Maybe that means requesting a deadline extension. Maybe that means talking to a team member about something internally that they were expecting soon, and you're going to reset expectations. You have to reset expectations of people around you. If you can't get it off your plate and it's not all going to fit, this is the next thing in line. The third thing to do is to intentionally extend your work hours. Now, this should only be done as a last resort. And I'm talking about the work stuff right now. I know I had you reconcile the personal and the work. For me, what I find is that the personal, I don't usually have a problem fitting it in the personal space I have carved out. So I don't have to really worry about that reconciliation too much. Now, that may not be the case for you. It's more for me, and what I know to be true working with clients is that they have to reconcile the work stuff. It just doesn't all fit within the work hours that they want to keep for themselves. So they end up working at night or on the weekends, but they just slam into that instead of actually being intentional about scheduling after hours work. And there's a big difference there. So that's why this third step is intentionally extend your work hours, but only as a last resort. And when I say intentionally, it means, oh, okay, well, I'm off by like 7 hours this week. I have 7 hours more work to do than space I have. And so I need to find space for that. So I'm willing to work 2 hours on Tuesday night, 2 hours on Wednesday, 2 hours on Thursday, and then 1 hour Saturday morning. I don't know. Like, you get to decide this stuff, right? But you do that on purpose. And if you don't want to do that, then okay, then you got to go back to 1 and 2. You got to get more off your plate or reset expectations with those around you about deadlines, etc. This is really all that it boils down to. People enter into their weeks and they think that they're just going to get it all done. But when you actually map it out and you see what's possible and what's not possible, this forces you to face that on the front end instead of on the back end. The truth is, if you're in that scenario, it was never going to work ever in the first place. So why do you want to run through a week when knowing that it was just magical thinking? Like, why would you want to do that to yourself? Wouldn't you rather know up front and be able to be proactive and take care of things instead of getting to the end of the week, being a shell of yourself, deflated and ticked off that now you're going to have to work all weekend because you couldn't get this done through the week. And you might be disappointing or letting people down because you aren't hitting deadlines. All of this could have been addressed ahead of time. So this is why you need to reconcile. And the reason I'm having you do this before you put this stuff on your calendar is because it can be frustrating to try to go put it all on your calendar and realize it doesn't fit. Just figure that out now. You have the data to figure it out. You know the time estimated for your tasks. You know the open space available. Is it going to work or not? And then once you can figure out how you're going to get these two numbers to fit, Then it's time to calendar. And that's the next video. So I will see you over there.